Do 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 do
God.
do do do.
I hate that I can recognize that. That's black and white, right? Black and white
it
too.
is. It's the ends theme or whatever.
Yeah. People love that.
Iconic YouTube track. Iconic YouTube video essay track.
I know.
Anyways,
I think that is so funny that's like now like it's one of those video game songs that's like permeated and become its own kind of language in
totally
YouTube world. That's fun.
When I think of sad music, that's like what immediately goes to mind.
Yeah.
We got another loss. We have to discuss another loss. We just did our new series review of Roku's House of Odyssey.
Well, for one to come in, one needs to go.
It's gotta go.
Yeah.
One's gotta go. And this week it was Mage Next Door. Now, before we just dive in, I gotta address maybe the one single comment we'll get. Why didn't 100 Amp Show cover Ganran Egg getting canceled? It's because I didn't read it. I read 5 chapters of it and I was like, this shit blows and it's not sticking around and I don't like it, so I'm not gonna continue reading it. Tom, you know it's rough. You know it's rough if I'm like, I don't want to continue this.
Yeah.
I'll read all this shit.
Yeah, you read Shonen Jump like PlayStation, Sony ponies like get like platinums. Like they'll play complete garbage if it's got an easy platinum.
Play
like,
Hannah Montana, the video game on.
I know you've had a phase like that in your life.
Oh,
honestly, it really makes sense. You're just this type of person. Because the fact that you had like a platinum phase, like really, really tracks with wanting to keep up to date with Shonen Jump. Like you get nothing out of it other than you play and / read a lot of crappy stuff to do that.
And we talked about a little bit in some of our other segments, but it's to get into it. The Mage Next Door was the basically the middle series in the 2 batches ago with Ganran Egg, Mage Next Door, and then Hero Girl and Demon Lord Call It Quits. Hero Girl and Demon Lord Call It Quits is going to end in 2 weeks. We're not covering that because I read the first chapter of it and I was like not into it at all. I read the first 3 chapters of it. And it feels very not Shonen Jump. Like it doesn't really feel like it belongs in the magazine and not in like a good way. Sometimes you get series that doesn't really necessarily feels like it belongs and it works out great. Not really the case with Hero Girl. So we're not covering that. And we're not covering Ganran. But I did read Mage Next Door because I liked Mage Next Door. This is a
stand-in for that whole generation. Then.
Yeah, we'll wrap them in there too. In Mage Next Door, basically, Tom, the rough sort of plot synopsis is it stars Soegawa, who's a mage. He's like 300 years old. He lives in the magic world. He lives in Zeal from Chrono Trigger.
Okay.
He basically lives in the kingdom of Zeal, and the divine magus of magic, of good wholesome magic, basically sends him down to the human world because there's a bunch of rogue mages running amok, and he's got to stop them. But Soegawa is lazy. He is all about big chillin'. He's all about not doing hard work, and he's a guy who has a lot of so basically the way magic works is mages. They will get randomly flush with magical aura and energy, and they're able to take that in that moment and turn it into any magic that they want. And a vast majority of the mages use it to have your fucking lightning attack, fireballs, shaking the earth. And he's like all about doing stuff that makes life easier. Like, magic that changes your laundry from the washer to the dryer. Magic that makes
I see.
his primary.
It's just like there's this jokey. It's kind of like the way of the house husband, like
very very like goofy and it's funny.
Like, hey, this is
really
a not household like character that's now using.
And he's using these like abilities as like, so he's using like magic that fluffs your pillow like as like defense to like spells. So
I'm not seeing a lot of legs on this premise, I guess.
The problem with the story is that the author, whose name I forgot to snag. Here, let me look it up real quick. I don't want to disrespect him. The author Hideaki Nabe, who, by the way, I want to see him come back. I want to see him back in the magazine. Because I think this series had some potential. The problem is it didn't fully commit to the slice of life element that the first chapter did really well. We kind of get into a lot of like light battle stuff, where pretty quickly he's introduced, or a sort of a female MC gets introduced, Yobiko, who I like. I think she's fun. She basically summons Beast. That's like her spell abilities to summon Beast. Because it's established that in the universe, most mages only get like this magical surge, like maybe at most 2 or 3 times in their life. And Osoegawa has dozens of spells. And of course, he uses them for, again, a bunch of bullshit. But seeing him use them in battle is fun and interesting. But I think what was fun about the series is him just being in this small town, helping out his neighbors, and it kind of being a more slice of life style series. I think if it stuck to that, I think it could have had more of a chance, but I feel like Nabe Sensei just wanted, like, I feel like he got nervous. You know how we talked about in the previous series, how there's a lot of pressure. I think he got a little nervous and wanted to introduce some battle elements as maybe a potential pivot, which just like the action just wasn't that compelling. Like what was fun is the character and like a little bit of the comedy, in the lighthearted tone of the series. I really enjoyed I did genuinely really enjoy reading it every week. But it commits this sin in like chapter 18 when he was like, you got 3 chapters, you got to wrap it up, dog, is probably when this happens. Is basically Osoegawa in like chapter 18 or 19 gives up his laziness magic. He gives up all his laziness magic so he can use the first magic that he concocted, which is basically a kill beam, like a big laser beam. Because they're going up against this evil magic group that's introduced.
You would hope you'd be able to like use the pillow fluffing spell in a creative way.
Yeah, you want him to stick with that because that shit was fun.
Yeah,
you
could use it to defeat the guy.
Yeah, because the big one that he was using for a long time, like his main attacking magic was the spell that makes water guns more powerful. So he'd shoot these water guns and they'd be like fire hydrants, so they blast people like 50 meters away.
Right.
And that's fun. Again, that was fun. And they literally throw it all. He throws it all away. He literally throws the premise away so he can use big laser beam magic. And then the series wraps up like 2 chapters later. And the last chapter, very I respect that the author's like, no, I'm not ending this shit. The main villains are going to get defeated and they're going to go away, but they're going to come back. They're fleeing. And then we get a month later time skip where he's kind of helping his neighbors out, which he should have been doing the entire fucking series. Cuz it's called The Mage Next Door, Tom. There's nothing about the series past like chapter 3 is like Mage Next Story. I wanted the Mage Next Door. I wanted classic early Witch Watch.
Yeah, like
where it's
I can see like plots like, oh, the stop sign's broken, and he does something.
He's got to fix the stop sign.
He's got a lot of energy to like do a spell.
His neighbors, or like even like one of my favorite gag series, Super Psychic Policeman Shoujo, where like the psychic power element is like beyond tertiary. It's just about the community and like helping out the gang. That's what the series should have been, not like this light battle series. And they even in like chapter 8, they introduce some shit. They introduce I'm sorry, you haven't read JJK yet, but it introduces like sorcerer grades, like a grading system, which that's how you know we're trying to get into battle mode. Because it's like, to save the series, to pivot the series, the shonen pivot. Like, we'll do a full topic on the shonen pivot because I got a lot to say about this. You
mentioned it a few times, yeah.
And basically, what this is, Tom, is it's this concept for mainly shonen series. I'm sure other manga do this as well, where the main conceit or plot point of the series early on will take a shift either in tone or in genre, to sort of try to keep it going. And sometimes this works out great. So, for example, Dr. Stone, Senkyu is not the main character in chapter 1. It's the other guy. It's the muscle head, beef muscle, like the muscle of his of Senku's like gang early on. And they basically realize, and the author's credit, not Boichi, the writer's credit, he basically realized that Senkyu is way more interesting of a character than the beefhead. So in like chapter 12, they like part ways, and Senkyu meets the community where all the other prominent Dr. Stone characters are introduced, while the musclehead and his girlfriend are kind of stuck, kind of doing recon on the main antagonist of the series. That's like a shonen pivot at work. JJK kind of has a light pivot, not really in character but in tone, where like in spoilers by the way, chapter 9 or 10, Yuji dies for like a few chapters. He's like killed off, and and it gets really violent. And the sort of, you kind of think it's light spirit mystery busting. It's early Yu Hakusho type shit. That's another shonen pivot, Yu Hakusho, old school shonen pivot, where it's about these sort of more ghost detective stories.
I like how you're just doing the segment.
Well, yeah,
we're gonna do this in the future where I go through and list all the different.
Where I go through all
pivots.
these.
Anyway, let me list.
Anyways,
them all.
Let's go through 5 of them right now. But to bring it back to Mage Next Door, this is because and what I want to do, because I know I always ask you when we do our new series review, I'm like, Tom, will you read chapter 2? And the answer is always no. I would like to propose for these in memoriams that we do, like, should you still read it? And I gotta be honest, like, no, I can't in good consciousness recommend the Mage Next Door. It was fun to read it week to week. It was a fun part of the magazine. I enjoyed my time with it. But now that we have the sort of the story in its completion and its incomplete completion, I just can't really recommend it. I don't really feel like as much as I enjoyed like the characters, I don't feel like the comedy was that strong that I can really recommend it on that. And the main premise left me wanting a lot more that you don't really get from the rest of the series beyond like chapter 3. So, yeah, but I still wanted to pay more respects to it because I read the whole thing, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the new series that are going to be coming out. This one didn't work, but I wish Hideaki Nabe success in his next work. I hope it's great. And best of luck to the other authors for Gone Run Egg and Hero Girl and Demon Lord Call It Quits, which is definitely getting canceled. I would put $50 down that it gets canceled in the next 3 weeks. So.
I win the 50.
Yeah, and Tom wins the 50.
I'm putting nothing down because I have no idea.
Anyways, that's it. If you read Mage Next Door, if you're on the Shonen Jump grind like I am, I want to hear your thoughts about it. Post it below, and stay authentic.